What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Krallice, entitled Hurr. This is self-released. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of New York City, New York, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very avant-garde, experimental, dissonant style of black metal. Yeah. Krallice are one of those metal bands to really push boundaries on any single release that they can create. I mean, this band is full of very well-established musicians, very incredible songwriters, and they just put out releases that really challenge the listener and make very much of a difference in the genre of metal that they play. They've been very consistent over time, especially with the first 3 full-lengths that they put out through Profound Lore. They're self-titled in 2008, Dimensional Bleed Through in 2009, and my personal favorite of the bunch, 2011's Diadema. Each release got better and better and more elaborate and more creative. Musically, visually, just the overall executions, it worked out very, very well. I love those releases, each of them all special in their own right, but preferably Diadema. That was just a very incredible record. But then in 2012, Krallice took somewhat of a DIY sort of route with their 4th full-length, Years Past Matter. It still felt very much like a Krallice record, but things seemed to be a little bit more technical and a lot more progressive. You can tell that there were a lot of differing sort of spacier elements going on with Years Past Matter. From the song titles to the concepts, it just felt like a different sort of record. But it was still Krallice. It was still Krallice, and it sounded great, and very much a forward-thinking sort of release that was. And ever since that time, a lot of the people involved in Krallice have been doing very differing musical projects. Of course, you have the great Colin Marston doing multiple efforts with bands like Dysrhythmia, Behold the Octopus, and recently joining Gorguts. And of course, both halves of Krallice involved in separate projects. Nick and Lev doing a drum and bass death metal outfit called Gurion, while the other half, Colin and Mick, do somewhat of an improvised sort of brutal death metal act with Incinithrak, and a little bit more progressive elements with Indricothir. Just some really amazing bands. But one day, out of the blue, out of nowhere, boom, we have a brand new Krallice album. Little to no fanfare, little to no promotion about it. It was just made on their Facebook page one day, out of the blue. Here you go. Here we go. This new album. It's right here. And since that album came out, I wanted to find out what it was about. I was just as excited as anybody else in wanting to give this album a listen. And now here we are with their 5th full-length entitled Hurr. It's 6 tracks, and it clocks in at around 35 minutes in length. And this is easily the shortest album of Krallice's existence. It's half the length you would expect from a normal sort of Krallice release. I would normally expect a Krallice release to be very lengthy and elaborate. But things seem a bit scaled back and stripped down. Not so much stripped down as the music. This is an entirely new sort of idea being presented by this band. It's almost as if the black metal elements you would once know from a band like Krallice have drifted away in replacement with some more technical, progressive, almost death metal inspired sort of moments going on with this album. But like the previous album, Years Past Matter, I truly believe that this new representation of the band still feels very much like a Krallice record. And it shows itself off from the minute you start with the track Idols and then the next 5 songs down. Most tracks run from around 3 to 6 minutes in length, but they go on at a very crisp pace. I love the way that every song flows and runs together, and I love the way that it sounds. There's a very great and clear production value going on here. It sounds great without having to feel too forced or contrived. It really does bring out the best in this band's musicianship. And the musicianship is very much straight to the point here. I love the way every instrument sounds here. The guitar work here is very technical, very dissonant sounding. The chord progressions, the riffs, the tremolos, just a lot of incredible songwriting efforts being done here, especially on songs like Wastes of Ocean and Over Spirit. Just some amazing guitar playing going on those songs. It's very beautiful to listen to, very carefully crafted sort of styles, because I believe these two guitar players are extremely established people. They know how to do things, they know how to get the job done, and they do so with the guitar playing going on here. Very well layered, very well structured guitar playing. It's just very bombastic at times, but I still think it really works out very well here. Like the previous couple of Krallice releases, I think the bass work is incredible too. Very clear, very audible, very powerful sounding bass tones going on here. I really enjoy when a bass guitar gets just as much equal sound and appearance as a main guitar would sound. I think the bass work is very well established. It sounds perfect. I love the way that it's played. You very much hear it on the track Idols, and then throughout the rest of this album, leaving a very awesome balance. It does feel incredible. Moving on to the drums. The drums here are, once again, just so amazing. This guy has long been the heartbeat of the band, and he shows off his technicality and chops with the drumming that he does here. I love the blast beats. I love the fills. I just love the creativity and the syncopation being done here. It verges from very fast to very technical to just straight up different sort of differing ideas. Different ideas being represented in every single song here, and he goes about it in such a very incredible pace. I love the way Lev's drumming sounds here. And when it comes to the vocals, it's pretty much the typical sort of Krallice vocal style. You have Nick doing his very booming, growling sort of low sort of vocals, but he has a very great dialect. I love the way he sounds when he does his vocals. Very powerful, and once you do hear him say what he needs to say, it does leave that much of an impact. And then of course you have Mick Barr with his entrancing sort of high vocals. I love the way he screams. It's a very awesome vocal performance here, and the vocals especially work for this album's instrumentation. It fits right. It doesn't seem to be overpowering or take away from anything. I just think the vocals work incredibly well. Both vocal styles work extremely perfectly for this album's style and concept. And of course, once this album is over, you wonder you'll be left to wonder what to think. How would this feel in comparison to what Krallice have put out in the past? I think this is a very bold and ballsy sort of step for Krallice to take. But I'm really proud of this band for wanting to create something really different and something very much incredible from what they've done in the past. Their consistency is very well evidented throughout this entire band's career, and I think with this new album they show how smart they are. This is a very smart sort of metal release. Regardless of what label you want to tag it as, whether you want to consider it to be black metal or technical death metal or black death, it's just hard to describe, but it's incredible to listen to. This is a very awesome album. If you're a Krallice fan, don't come in expecting what you would normally expect. Expect something completely new and fresh and different, and I love what they do here with this new album, so it's worth every single minute and time being spent listening to this. So I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will link you to the Krallice Bandcamp page where you can stream it in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can buy it digitally, and it is also available. It's going to be, just like the previous release, it's going to be self-released by the band through CD. I believe Gilead Media is going to be handling North American vinyl distribution. And I know there's going to be an international version of this to be soon to come, so keep up with the band for more details on that. So, again, the album is Hurr by Krallice. This is self-released. Very much check this out. This is a completely new band, but I think they pull off the new band thing very well. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 9 out of 10. Krallice are such intelligent, wonderful musicians. If you've happened to have heard this album, let me know what you think and where you think it stands in Krallice's discography. So, I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Armijo out.